Hey y'all, Rebecca of Carnivore Wellness here. I want to share with you how I've broken through a long-standing, lifelong pattern of procrastination and being stuck in inaction. All right, so I journaled this the other day. I've woken the last few mornings with a twinge of heaviness or irritation or some other tough-to-feel feeling. I've taken the time to sit with it, identify it, usually with journaling, and accept the feeling. Within a few hours, I've felt intuitively led to take some kind of action. A dance party with the kids, coffee with a friend, making a post on YouTube, creating a video, posting that, sharing an insight of growth, and bam, that energy shifts and releases, leaving nothing but love in its wake. I used to do the sitting with feelings thing, but would fail to follow the inklings of that inner voice guiding me into taking action for the next right step. It sounds so simple, but I've been stuck in past patterns of inaction. Now I feel this energy that we've been in lately, last month or two, has just, now I feel this energy. Now I feel like the energy we've been in has empowered me to get out of my own way and lead me into flow, guided by my inner knowing. It's required quieting, feeling deeply, and allowing. Yes, the energy has been heavy, but only in service of bringing up those parts of me that have been craving healing and release. That's kind of how it is, right? For a long time, I would sit with hard feelings and I'd feel all the feelings, but then I never did anything with them. So all I was doing was teaching my body to feel those feelings again and again. So that's why I've been so stuck. I mean, I have struggled with binge eating. I've made videos about that. I've struggled tremendously with body image issues, self-judgment, fear of judgment from others, rejecting myself, fear of rejection from others. These things have kept me trapped. These things have kept me small and I just haven't been expressing my full self. I haven't been living in my authenticity because I was so stuck in those emotions. I thought I was doing the healing work by going back and feeling them, but then I wasn't doing anything with them. So this video is about how to move through that and how to move past that. It requires taking action. Now, I do want to address that we as humans, really, our purpose here on earth, I believe, is to live and to be our radiant selves. I don't think you necessarily have to have some tangible construct that you're working with. Oh, I was sent here to save the planet doing X, Y, Z. None of us were sent here to save the planet. We're sent here to be light and love to ourselves and to others, to connect with each other, to lift each other up in love and light, and to find our shared bits of humanity and allow those pieces and parts of ourselves to connect us and draw us into one another so that we can exist in unity and love. I mean, guys, it sounds so woo-woo and silly, but it's just the truth. It's my truth. It's the truth that I am choosing to walk in and live in right now. But it's not easy to get here. I spent so many years stuck and not taking action and second-guessing myself and letting fear get the better of me. And now suddenly I'm making YouTube videos every day and saying whatever it is I want to say, regardless of who's gonna, hear it and what they may or may not think. Be yourself. That's the place where I want to be, and that's where I'm choosing to be. But the point that I'm trying to make here is I have done the sitting with hard feelings. I've done the accepting and allowing those feelings, but then you got to do something, right? And this is how it's presented to me this week. This is what I've noticed is I've had these moments of, I've woken up a few days where the energy in the air, it's just heavy. Or I wake up and I'm just feeling a little irritable and I don't know why and there's no real reason. And so I turn to my journal and I sit down and I journal. Or, go sit on the porch and try and be present, listen to the birds, look at the sun, look up at the sky and the clouds, listen for the wind chimes if the wind's going to blow. Things like that, things to be grounded and present. And in doing so, that allows feelings to surface. It allows me to really identify, yeah, man, I am irritable. Oh, I am cranky. I'm not really feeling like engaging with anyone in my household right now. I've had a lot of those moments over this week. But I have also had intense moments of an outpouring of love for myself and others. How do I go from one extreme to the other? It's in following that inner knowing, that intuition that guides me into taking the next right step. I have no idea where I'm going in life. All I know at this point is that I have been freeing up energy in my life by going through and healing some of these old wounds. I've had so many patterns of stuck energy where I've had to work with that and free that. So now I've got this great wellspring of energy within me, free and ready to go, but I don't know where it's going to go yet. I don't yet have my focus point. All I know is the next right step. And for whatever reason, a week or so ago, the next right step presented itself as sit down and record a YouTube video and get it posted. And so I did. And then, I've had other next right steps. For example, 3 days ago, I woke up, I was super cranky, irritable. My husband made a comment. I did not receive it the right way. In fact, I mirrored it back at him with, some anger and aggression and a little meanie face, convincing myself that it was me holding my boundaries. Not quite. You know what I mean. I was in a rough little spot. So went, sat on the porch, journaled, kids came out, I was still irritable. And then I went to go brush my teeth, kind of wash the little coffee breath out. And I, for whatever reason, felt like, we should have a dance party. So I asked the kids if they wanted to have a dance party. So we put on some lively tunes and we had a dance party. And you know what? It felt so good to move my body freely without judgment, because it's my kids. They don't care. They don't know that my dance moves are kooky and silly. It'll be a few more years before I embarrass them with my dancing. So I leaned into that. And you know what? The next day they asked if we could have another dance party. It was a powerful moment of connection for us to enjoy levity and light and to exist in the present moment of joy. And in that moment, I was no longer worried about, oh, I'm so irritable. When's this feeling going to pass? It's going to pass when you do something. And it's so simple. But I didn't know that. I didn't know that you had to do something. I thought you could just feel the feels, accept them, attempt to love them, and then move on. But what cements that love and acceptance is doing something, taking the action. You freed up this energy in your body, and that energy then becomes known to you through your intuition. As long as you're tuning into yourself, as long as you're choosing to accept yourself fully, then you can, this next right step is going to come to you. It's your intuition. It's in our wiring. This is how we as humans are designed to operate. Yeah, we have our 5 senses, but we all definitely have that 6th sense of inner knowing of what it is that we should or could do next. And in doing that, I have released a lot of pain patterns this week. So I gave the example of having the dance party. Another one was having coffee with a friend, a new friend. I'm new to this area and I don't know many people, but I do know my realtor. And she, I sent her a text, hey, you want to get together for coffee? Something we talked about doing, but never did. And went out and had coffee. Well, I went from being, a grumpy Gus at the house, kind of kicking rocks around in my bathrobe to, oh, I'm going to town to meet with a friend. We talked for 3 hours. We connected on so many things. She's about to have a baby. So, we were talking all about motherhood, and I got to, in that conversation, she allowed me to share a lot of my own, birth experiences and early motherhood experiences, and it was really healing. Who knew? So it's in taking action that we're able to move through the feelings, because otherwise that energy just kind of sits and resides in your body. If all this talk about energy doesn't resonate with you, that's totally fine. This channel is probably not going to be for you, because this is where I'm going with things. Carnivore is foundational. It absolutely is. It has given me back my life. It has given me back my mental clarity and space so that I can process all of this stuff, so that I can work with my emotions, love and accept them, and then release them. But the release comes in taking action of the next right step. Again, you don't have to have the 5 or the 10-year plan to take the next right step. And that's the thing, is previously, I was operating from a place of, my goal is way off here down in the future. How do I get there? Well, no wonder I found myself in inaction. The amount of possibilities of the ways that you could get from point A to point B is endless. So yeah, it's really hard to discern what to do next. But if you're not focused on that, if you're not focused on 5, 10 years out, and you're just focused on the now moment, and you're tuning in to your presence, to your intuition, that next right step shows itself. I'm going to give you another example. Yesterday, I was at the park, and I got there, and I was planning to listen to a couple podcasts, maybe journal. I brought, my little journal along because I've been doing so much of that lately. And there was a mom with a new baby kind of sitting over off in the shade. And it could have just been me projecting my own experience of early motherhood as being really hard and isolating. But for whatever reason, I got it in my head that I should go talk to her because I know what it feels like to be that mom who's been stuck in the house all day with a new baby and no adult conversation, and to be in a place with other people and to feel so alone in that place with other people because my experience doesn't seem to be reflected in what I see of others around me. And that feeling of isolation is terrible. And that was a big part of my experience of early motherhood. So for whatever reason, I tried to push past that feeling. I tried to just, okay, I'll tune into my podcast. But then next thing I know, I'm sitting there and I'm getting all jittery and I'm moving around and I'm crisscrossing my legs, and it was stuck energy. I had this sense that I needed to go do something, and my body was getting restless. Like there was this energy rising within me telling me, go talk to that mom, go sit by that mom. So you know what I did? I awkwardly walked over. I'm in my shameless error. And I walked over and I was like, hey, I know this is kind of weird, but do you want some company? Like, I know motherhood's really hard. Do you want adult conversation? And I'd love to tell you that she was super receptive. Oh, thanks. Come sit down, blah, blah, blah. No. She was like, who's this girl? Yeah, sure. I mean, you can if you want. Whatever. I can only imagine how I came off to her. I'm a bit of an odd bird, but I'm at this point where I am choosing to love and accept myself, and whatever it was inside of me that told me that I should go talk to her prevailed over my ego of protecting myself from judgment. So I went over there and I sat with her, and you know what? We didn't talk all that much. I tried to make conversation, but I was kind of getting back those short answers. You know, she's pretty guarded, and honestly, bless her heart, she hadn't slept for more than 2 hours at a time, you know, since she had her baby a month and a half ago, and she, you know, it's okay that she did not have a cup that runneth over. Okay, she didn't have anything to give to me. I could see that. I think that's what drew me to her. So I just went and I sat with her, and I just held that space, and we talked a little here and there. I had a few more efforts of trying to make conversation. Oh, what are you listening to? You studying business? Cool. Oh, do you have family in the area? Do you have some good support? That question opened up some things. She doesn't. She doesn't have anyone for support. Not really. Not in a way that is impactful and meaningful for her. And I must have just been able to sense it because I went over there and I talked to her. Anyways, I ended up giving her my number, reaching out and just letting her know, hey, ball's in your court, but if you need support, if you need help, I know what it's like to be in this position, and I want to extend that to you. And I really didn't know how she'd feel about that or if she'd take me up on it. And so I went about my business, and you know, she said goodbye and she left, and I gathered my kids eventually and we went home. And you know, I just kind of had to trust, well, she has my number. If she needs me, she'll let me know. And but I've been thinking about her. I've been thinking about her and her little baby and just what that's like, and my heart really goes out to her. And this morning, after doing some journaling, and then I went outside and gosh, saw the moon, and the clouds finally parted. I saw the stars for the first time in what feels like weeks. It's been really rainy around this part of the country lately. And then I came back in, turned my phone, you know, off of airplane mode, and in comes this text. Oh, it's from her. And it was just like, I wanted to go ahead and send you a text before I lost your number. She wasn't like giving anything. It wasn't like, oh, thanks for your number, and I can't wait to see you again, or, oh, you know, what a great connection we made. No, she doesn't have that excess to give right now. Like, she's a new mom. She's pouring every little bit she has into her baby and herself. She's in survival mode. That's what I can see. But it opened up the door. And then we exchanged just a few more texts. And in those texts, I could feel a softening. I could feel her opening up to help and support. And having been a person who is so closed off to help and support, or at least I was, you know, I'm still learning to ask for help and support in the ways that I need it. It's cool to see. So there's the little crack. The door is open now for me to potentially be a person that could provide some semblance of support for her. I'm not saying this to toot my own horn. It might sound like that, and if it comes off that way, my apologies. No, I don't apologize. I don't apologize. No, the point is, I had this tug in my heart to go talk to her, and I didn't know where it was coming from other than I knew it was coming from my inner knowing, other than I knew it was coming from my intuition, other than I knew it was coming from my higher self telling me, go take action right now. And as I tried to sit there in resistance to that, the energy just built and built, and I got squirmy like a little kid who can't sit still at the, in school. So I went and talked to her. I took that next right step when that kind of stuck feeling, or that kind of, restless feeling was building in my body. I took that next right step, and then I let it go. If she needed my help or not, she falls in her court. She can decide. But to then have her respond today, I mean, honestly, I want to be of service to others. I'm at a place where I am no longer empty. My cup runneth over. I've got extra, girlfriend. Here, let me share. Because I'm in a really good place. I got to this really good place by doing the healing work, which looks like sitting with hard feelings, identifying them, going back into the past to figure out where did this stem from in the first place, and then offering that version of myself the love and acceptance that she didn't get in that moment, rewriting the patterns of my history, rewriting the patterns of behavior and thinking that no longer serve me. I've got to update the software and let Rebecca know at her various, places in life. You've got this, you're loved, you're accepted, be free in who you are. And then that's allowed me to bring those parts and pieces back into the current day, into the current moment, so that when I show up as my full self, not some fractured self, leaving broken pieces, in a little trail of breadcrumbs behind me. I'm integrating, I'm bringing it all in. But this video is about taking that next right action, listening to that inner knowing. And it's a practice. I haven't always known how to be in touch with my intuition. I haven't always known how to be in touch with my body. I spent years dissociating from my body on purpose. Go back and watch the binge eating videos. That's where that comes from. Suddenly, I made those videos a week ago, and I even talk about in those videos a recent, struggle with a return to a binge eating like behavior. It's like that feels worlds away. It was like a week ago at this point. It feels worlds away. I have not been eating for comfort, even though I've had challenging emotions arise throughout the week. I have not overeaten one bit. If anything, I've maybe potentially undereaten, because on carnivore, you're just physically satisfied with less. So now I've got to be mindful that I'm eating enough during my eating window. All to say, I'm actively releasing these painful patterns of behavior that no longer serve me. I feel like I've unlocked the code. I hope this makes sense. I hope that this message translates. I trust that it'll translate for the right people. So again, if you're not vibing with this, that's okay. I might not be for you. But if this speaks to a part of you that has you thinking, oh yeah, that resonates, that hits, I understand, I can see that in my own life. This is the way this channel's going. This is where we're going. We're going full woo over here. We're going into our power. We're going into energy that, how to work with our intuition and our inner knowing to move through life, to live the best life we can, to live an optimal way in this world. And that's the message. There's a few stories in there, the dance party, the coffee with a friend, connecting with a mom who probably really needed some connection. And in all of that, while I have received the joy and the love from others in those interactions, it has allowed me to love and accept myself just that much more. And so I'm going to keep taking the next right action. Before we know it, this YouTube channel will be filled with all these kind of stories. And those of you who like them will have them coming at you regularly, because that's the place where I am, is taking this next right step. And it's kind of funny, I'll stop with the stories. I'm just saying there's an endless amount of situations, small little situations throughout this week that have shown me that when I feel that restlessness, when I feel that building tension, it's because it's time to go do something. So instead of feeling that restlessness and that tension and trying to deny it or trying to say, oh, that's just part of my personality, I used to say all the time, I'm just a restless person. I don't have to be. I can be a peaceful person. It just requires that I allow that energy to transfer from this place of being stuck in my body to being expressed in the world through action. How do you feel your intuition plays a role in the next right step that you take. Do you feel led by intuition? Do you follow a game plan? Do you rely on your habits and routines? For me, that's been a huge aspect of my health and healing is, before I got to the place where I could wrestle with these concepts, these feelings, and release them. I relied on habits and routines to bring me part of the way there. But we keep making progress, and as we make progress, we get better and better. We build our skill set, and we can do more. So for me, I started with carnivore, and then I started with other, lifestyle diet habits that have been helpful. And then now I'm in this chapter of connecting with my spirit, with who I am at my core. That's pretty cool. It's pretty cool to live life from the inside out instead of the outside in. Again, another cliche, but it just rings so true in a way that I have never been able to access before. So now that I feel like I have the keys, I want to share them. I'm curious. Let me know. What's your experience with following your intuition? Has carnivore or meat-based eating or keto, whatever it is that you do to eat to feel well, has that helped you get in touch with your intuition? Because carnivore has definitely helped bring me back into my body, has helped make my body a safe place to be in, thus allowing all of this transformation. I'm 3 years into carnivore. If you're a newbie carnivore and you're just trying to, choke down the meat and say no to the sugary treats, that's right where you need to be. But if you've been in the space a while and you want to keep seeing personal growth and healing, you got to do the inner work. That's where the beauty of life is in learning those life lessons, turning that pain into power and embodying it through action. That's my message. It's a Thursday. Tomorrow is Friday. On Fridays at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I host the Carnivore Wellness Community Meeting. We get together on Zoom for about an hour and talk. It's a small group, but the people there are so loving and kind and supportive. Go back and watch my videos. You'll see that they have some, they're always there in the comments cheering me on. I love them. So they're good people. If you want a space where you can come talk about your meat-based lifestyle and, the physical healing that you're experiencing, this is that place. Especially if you would like to be able to do that in a place where it's safe to share the mental and emotional transformations that you're experiencing too. If that's for you, then please join the email list. I've got the link down below. Go to carnivorewellness.kit.com and put in your email, and you will get that weekly email that contains that Zoom link. It's free. It's free. I just want to hang out and connect with people. And if I seem like I might be your kind of person, then please feel free to be in that space with us tomorrow or whenever this video finds you. Join that list, and we'll see you in the following meeting, or in the meeting the following Friday. All right. I love me, I love you, and I know you love you too. So let's live in that remembrance of who we are together. See you next time. Bye.